Welcome to another post-game edition of Two Guys and a Mic. This is one of your hosts, RP.
And I'm your other host, Big Sean. And I'm telling y'all right now, I really don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to even talk about this shit right now. I don't want none of this. I'm only doing it because I have to be professional. That's the only reason. That's the only reason that I'm here right now. Is that a sheer professionalism?
Wait a minute.
Where I want to be right now is in the bed, sleeping this off. That's what I want to do. I want this day to be over. I want it to be the Monday after the game. That's what I want right now.
This is not how we discussed the opening of the show. However,
I'm telling you.
Here we are.
I'm completely and utterly disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm exacerbated. And I don't want to talk about this shit. I've been in quiet mode since about 4:15. I probably said literally maybe about 10 words. 4:15 this afternoon.
Hey y'all. Hey. Remember when I would always say, I always thought that Sean would be the angry person on the show. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah, they took me there today. I've been calm for the last year and a half. So they took me there today. I can't with them right now. I really can't. That was one of the most disgusting displays of football I've seen. Matter of fact, since maybe they lost to Baltimore the first game of the season last year, when we got blown out, this may have been the worst game they played in about 4 years.
Hey, let me tell you.
This was downright. I mean, the game never really even got started. We had that first drive. We went right down the field and scored, and that was it. That was the game, set, match. It was over.
Let me tell y'all something. The tears that you see me having in my eyes are legit tears. This is possibly one of the best shows we've been. We 3 minutes into the show. This could be the best show I've ever done ever.
They flew all the way to Boston for nothing. That's like everybody at my job driving into work and then don't turn their computers on. That's exactly what this was like. You could have just stayed home. You could have just forfeited. They wasted everybody's time. That was a waste of 3 hours and 15 minutes a day. It was a complete and utter waste of time.
Y'all think this is fake, right? Y'all think this is fake?
No, this ain't fake at all.
This is not.
They took me there.
This is a real. These are real emotions that are spewing from Mount Vesuvius right now.
The worst part of it is when the Browns lose like this, I mean, now I got to listen to nonsense all week. People posting pics of OBJ smiling, all that type of shit. One of my homeboys texting me weird stuff. He a Lions fan. He texted me all. I'm like, man, I just said F you. I didn't even say nothing to him. F you. Don't talk to me today.
Listen, man.
My family was talking to me and they wonder why. I'm like, y'all know me. Y'all know me for years. Why I ain't talking. So they kept talking. I'm like, why are y'all talking to me right now? Please, go away.
Because you've been so calm over the last year and a half. You've allowed yourself this situation, bro. You kind of set the situation up for yourself on the hope that the Browns would be good, which every one of us had that hope, or that the Browns wouldn't keep, doing these types of things to us. The loyal, returning, the matter of fact, let me go back. The blindly loyal returning fan. We expect for them to show up at some point, especially where we've been within the last year and a half or so. We felt like, okay, this season, 2 years into the same offense, we got certain people in the offense, we got new people on the defense. All of this shall now go away, correct? And it doesn't, and it didn't.
It didn't. Man.
And so here we are 10 games in, and we literally have the same questions that we had going into the start of last season. Not just this season.
Man, listen,
you
would have thought we played the 85 Bears today. the way they played.
I know
The
y'all
Patriots, man, the Patriots had a bunch of people out there that I ain't never heard of before. Them running backs they had out there today, I've never heard of any of them.
I ain't know who none of them were.
I ain't know who. I barely knew who the receivers were. I ain't know anybody on defense except for Matthew Judon, and we just walked in there and just laid down.
So let's do this.
Can't.
So let's do this. I'm gonna try to wrangle the show in, because if we let the show go on like it's going now, Sean is just gonna rant.
Yep.
He's gonna throw out certain things, and I'm just gonna giggle through the entire show. Y'all gonna be like, "What a weird ass show." It's really funny to me because generally 99.9% of this show has been my emotions versus Sean's like staunch, flat affect, like, yo, it's all good. We got to think like this. We got to think about that, blah, 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 blah. And that's not even me coming at Sean. That's just been the base of the show. So, and I kept telling y'all, like, yo, I thought it would have been the other way. I thought Sean would have been the one. Now we're getting somewhere. We're going to have to go 5 more seasons for sure. They're going to re-up on us now, because now this is what I've been telling y'all. This dude is the angriest of the two of us, because when he gets frustrated, you can't say a word that's going to make a difference to this guy. Not one word. So.
Not today. Not today at all, like nothing. So let's
delve into parts and pieces of the game. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about the Cleveland Browns game today versus the New England Patriots. Apparently the Browns took it more as a game and the Patriots took it as a competition. We lost today 45-7 to a team that probably, honestly, on paper, it should never even be in the same conversation on paper with us. And they just walked in to the building and slowly annihilated us from start to finish. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I said off top. I've been very critical of a lot of people on this team and a lot of things that this team does. But I've also been fair. I feel I've been fair. I've also been very giving, and as much criticism as I give, I also try to give accolades and say when I'm wrong and admit those things too. We do really well with those things here on this show. So one of the things that I've criticized, or one of the problems I've had with this team, is Kevin Stefanski and his play calling outside of the scripted plays. So today, when we went on that drive, the very first drive, we went down and scored, I didn't clap. I didn't throw my hands up. I didn't do any of that, because you know what always happens? On the scripted plays, we score or we do well. So I said, okay, that's good. Let's see what happens after these scripted plays, because my criticism of him is that he doesn't make adjustments and that he can't call a game beyond the plays that he calls from the game plan that he puts together. Now the game is happening and you got a 3rd and 10, or you have oh shoot, we fumbled last time, or we threw a pick last time. Let's adjust he can't do that.
Well, Ron, I can go ahead. I can save you some trouble. I can tell you exactly what happened after that first drive, which was absolutely fucking nothing. There's absolutely nothing happened after that. I mean, literally, there was nothing, and I mean nothing, that happened after that. And I'm not exaggerating when I say nothing happened.
Here's the question, though, Sean. Why though?
There was nothing.
Why was it nothing? Now tell me, why was it nothing? Because we were texting during the game. But tell me, why was it nothing when we were averaging 9 yards a carry? However, because we got stopped on one run, you just go away from the run and turn it over to this dude who had problems because you had this one other guy on the field. Now this guy's not on the field. So what's the issue today? Why were you still throwing in the double coverage? That pass was the dumbest pass I've seen this dude throw in a long time.
Season. Yeah, it was. That was a horrible pass. That.
He probably should have had 2 picks because the pass he threw to Schwartz was just as dumb. And the dude just dropped the pick. So
I have not the slightest idea. Like the only thing that one thing that I have a problem with the way that the Browns coach is that if there's a coach or a team that we're going up against that I feel that they feel that may be superior to us, either the coaching is superior or their athletes are superior, we coach like it. We coach scared.
Yep.
That's the only thing that I can think of.
Yep.
They're like trying to, like they go into the game not thinking that they can beat them, like doing what we do or imposing our will on them.
Yep.
And they, for whatever reason, try to switch things up. Now, there were times when the analyst, Charles Davis was pointing this out several times that Mayfield didn't have anywhere to go at the ball, like everywhere was covered. But the thing I noticed was that all the patterns were like all the way downfield, which means that your quarterback needs to have more time to set up to get the, but if there's nothing else there, it was really like no safety valves around, for him to dump it. Like, I know when New England didn't have anything downfield, they would just dump it off to a running back or something like that, and at least get 4 or 5 yards out the play. So
New England did something that the Browns the Browns rarely do, especially in games like this. New England had a thought process, and they said, this is what we're going to do, period. That's it, and that's all. We understand what our limitations are, and this is how we're going to play this game. The Browns act as though we're really, really good, and we're just going to keep doing these big things, and whether they're working or not. And this is one of the criticisms I have about Stefanski's offense and about Joe Woods' defense. They feel like they can plug player X into this spot, and player X should just be open because the offense suggests that, or the defense suggests that if we run this zone, they'll run this, and then you should be able to be here and do. That's not how it works in real life. And when it doesn't work, you got to make an adjustment. These guys never make the adjustments. These guys want to just keep doing the exact same thing. So I agree with what you're saying. But the problem is, where were all of those screens that we were running?
I was just about to say that, because one thing that you pointed out, and I agreed with you, you were like, man, the Patriots look like us. They run the same stuff that we run. They were running. Charles Davis even came out and said that too during the broadcast in the third quarter. He was like, these teams run the exact same thing.
They doing the exact same stuff.
Right. And they were running their screens. They were doing a little bit of everything. Reverses. We used to run reverses.
We don't have guys that can do it now, especially with Juice being hurt. And the one guy that used to run those reverses or run jet sweeps other than Juice, runs the wrong route. So we got to get this dude off the team.
And speaking of Juice is hurt.
He's
hurt to the point where he's like being a liability right now. I saw a couple of times he gave himself up, and he doesn't do that. That means he doesn't want to get hit, which means that he's really, really banged up.
But see, that's my point about OBJ too. Like, nobody wants to give him that credit because he was hurt, and people say, "Oh man, he should have caught that." He was hurt too. Like you had to understand. I know you're getting paid millions of dollars, and I was in some conversations, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I was in conversations during the game about this same exact thing. You guys, you regular 50-year-old guys who ain't never played football before, who ain't never done anything other than, maybe play flag or you play softball or something. You ain't never had a guy running at you at 20 miles per hour to hit you in a spot where this could hurt you for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. These people have the same issues and problems that we have. They want to be comfortable at some point in their life. So to give yourself up, a guy like Juice, like you said, to give themselves up and to lean out there and take that catch and to take that hit, they run the risk of not ever being the same after this hit.
Right. And let me clarify real quick. I wasn't saying that to criticize him at all.
No,
I was pretty much saying that maybe like the coach, they like, or you need to sit him down. I was like, all right, look, if you're
I agree.
that
I
hurt,
agree with you.
because
No,
we're kind of like, especially, if you're already down a few weapons anyway, it's like, man, look, just go ahead and sit this one out if you're not able to help the team. Now, as far as their courage going out there and playing, I applaud anybody that goes out there. Even when and I don't want to talk about OBJ too much.
I don't want to talk about
it. But even when he was playing hurt and people were criticizing him, I said, well, despite everything else, even if he was asking to be traded and all this type of stuff, I was like, he never dogged it on the field. I said he never went out on the field and never played hard. And so that's one thing I can take away
from that field with any injury or with anything hurt, which I would say 90% of the guys on the field are hurt. If you go back out on that field, knowing that I'm at a spot where I'm not just going to be hurt, but I could potentially injure myself, you deserve some level of kudos. But
right,
there is that fine line between tough and brave. There is that fine line between brave and stupid. There's certain times where you just need to go sit down. And you need to, like you said, if you're actually hurting your team, you need to go have a seat. And that was one of the places I was with Baker a couple of weeks ago with him starting. I didn't want to see him hurt himself and put the team in a worse spot. So I was against that. So I'm trying to build a timeline that we're both speaking of the same things. We're both saying the same thing. So if Juice is hurt, we want Juice to go have a seat somewhere and get himself all the way healthy, whether it's that knee, whether it's
he got a bad will.
Whatever it is, we want him to get all the way back healthy, because trust me, this team is a better team when Juice Landry is close to 100%. Like, there ain't many people that can guard that guy. There ain't many people that can stop that guy when he's rolling.
Right. And really
that only helps Baker.
And really what the Browns need is a bye week. Now, this is where I got an issue with the NFL. How are you going to extend the season by one game? One, you don't give an extra bye week. Two, you give us – we probably have the latest bye week out of all the teams. And if we get to week 13, week 13 doesn't help you, and you backload the season with divisional games. Now that I look at it, though, and the way that they've been playing, having the division backloaded, I don't want to say it works. It doesn't work in our favor, but it helps the Browns control their own destiny in a sense.
It could if we were to win those games.
If they were to win, right, exactly.
Depending on what we do going forward.
But on the flip side, though, it's just tough. So you backload it with divisional games. You wrap the bye week around Baltimore twice. And the Browns are pretty much, it's always something. You had the COVID outbreak, you lost the whole running back room. And during the week. So now you had to shut down the facility and all of that. And it's just, it's tough. And there's no excuse making at all. But I was like, the NFL really ain't doing us no favors.
The NFL has never done us any favors when it came to the team, the schedule, whatever. We've always had a tough schedule. I don't care what nobody say. It seemed like every year when they're like, oh, that seems like it's an easy schedule. And then those teams that we thought were going to be easy seem to be the teams kind of come up. So it doesn't ever actually end up being like an easy schedule. However, I've always argued that you got to win certain games, no matter what. And last year we did a lot of that. We beat a lot of teams that we were quote unquote better than. This year, we're playing a lot of teams that we're kind of equal to, and we're
losing them all.
Yeah. 500. So you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know that we've taken a step back, but I think it's kind of a slap in the face to make us understand that we're not there yet. And I don't know that it's because we don't have enough talent. Matter of fact, I'm taking that off the table. we have enough talent. That's one of the reasons why I got this dude behind me. Because it ain't, and listen, let me be further clear. I like this guy behind me. I think this guy behind me is part of the reason why we are looked at as Super Bowl favorites at times and a really good team or a team that's turning a corner. So I want to be clear. But I also feel like this guy's holding us back as well because we have the talent. The talent is there. Here's what I need from this guy behind me. Turn the doggone play calling over to someone else. Cut it out. Let somebody else call the plays. You can still be sitting in on the offense, but let somebody else call the freaking plays.
And you still have veto power at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. If a play that you want to overrule, you still got that that capability. But right now,
there's a reason why shit goes awry after your scripted plays. Because you stink at it, bro. You stink.
These Negroes are this is the most inconsistent bipolar team I've seen in a long time. At least when the Browns were bad, I knew we were bad. Now I don't know what I'm getting week to week. I don't know what I'm getting week to, and that's the frustrating part.
I agree with you. That makes it crazier though. Like how when we had worse coaches and worse players, did we expect a little bit more than what we expect now? Or should we expect more than what we expect now? Like right now, we're like, oh, we should. What did I tell you earlier? I told you about 4 weeks ago. One of the reasons that I'm able to laugh and one of the reasons that I'm able to kind of shrug some of this off is because of what I said a couple of weeks ago. I legitimately took that on as a real thing. I flat out lowered my expectations.
Yeah, you did say that.
I stopped thinking of these guys as some great freaking team. I stopped thinking of Kevin Stefanski as the next best thing. I stopped thinking of Baker Mayfield as the guy who's in the second year of a new offense and he should get better. I just brought it up. I brought it down a few notches. I brought it down a few notches because I realized that all I'm going to end up doing is going berserk week after week after week.
Yeah, and it was like they weren't even. I don't want to accuse guys of not playing hard because, like I said, I'm not out there. I ain't a professional football player. I can only go by what it looks like to me on television. And we were getting bullied. Like they were like when New England was running the ball, like we were in slow motion. We weren't tackling, weren't wrapping up. There were very few plays when we hit them and they went down on a first initial contact. It was always, did they getting, 4 or 5 yards, after contact. They ran probably about 4 or 5 jet sweeps to their receivers, with the receiver not getting touched until they 10, 15 yards down the field. 10, 15 and they yards. Kept running it. It was awesome. Go ahead.
Here's something else though, Sean, that I picked up, just kind of watching the game or whatever. The Charles, what's his name?
Charles Davis.
Charles Davis said this in the thing in the broadcast. He said that the Patriots went back and watched film of the team that ran well against the Browns, and that was
right
Pittsburgh game. So they incorporated runs the same kind of way versus what we do. I was just telling my cousin this. That is film. That's watching film.
Yeah, they exposed that we're vulnerable up the middle,
and that's teams that will always be successful because these teams actually watch film. We ain't talking about let's just watch the film to see what we did wrong, blah blah. No, we watching film to see how we can get better, and if we say what we've been doing ain't gonna work against them, let's do this. Those are the adjustments that this guy doesn't believe need to be made from week to week. He thinks that because the offense is the offense and analytics say this, everything's going to work out. But every week we may not have Nick Chubb. Every week we may not have a hell. We had DeAndre Johnson averaging 9.5 yards per freaking carry, and this dude wouldn't just hand the ball off. We get right in the red zone. What have I said about this guy? What have I said? We get into the red zone.
That dumbass ran it down, direct snap to the fullback.
From 20 to 20, this dude is great. We get in the red zone, he do the dumbest stuff ever. You get right in the freaking red zone with this dude running 11 yards per carry, and you do a direct snap to Johnny Stanton? Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Are you joking? Right. So listen, this is why I say I could probably do this. I could mess up in the red zone too. Trust me. Pay me what this dude is making, and I'll guarantee you we'll have an awful fourth down rating. We'll have a terrible third down rating, and we may not score in the red zone. And just give me the money that you give him. If this is what you want, I can do it. I promise I can. I promise I can. But
it's almost like, man, the Browns, for whatever reason, they're not taking stuff seriously right now. They like.
I'm glad you said that, bro. Go ahead.
They're not taking this thing seriously. They felt too good after winning in Cincinnati, and here they go again. They're getting praise and how through all adversity, they stepped up and did blase. But you got to keep this up week till we have a target on your back. New England is fighting to get in the playoffs. So one thing, everybody wrote New England off this year. Belichick is the prideful man. He was like, "Oh, okay, so you're trying to say I can't coach without?" Yeah, you're trying to say I can't coach without Brady?
That nigga been mad since last year, man.
They played at a different speed. Their guys were going to get the ball. Like when that receiver, I don't know who that bum was that caught that touchdown in double coverage, but when he went up and made that catch, it was a hell of a catch. I'm like, they're taking this serious. The catches that they were making, some of the throws that Mac Jones was making and they were catching, those were not easy plays to make. And they were going up and making plays. Our guys were just playing, but they were playing like lazy. Like they all flew all the way to Boston.
No, you're right. You're right. Bro, spot on. Spot on. That lazy freaking play that Njoku made in the end zone. Yeah, we ended up scoring a touchdown later, but he catches the ball and lets this dude slap it out of his hand. That's lazy. That's lazy. And it's because I believe that these guys are smelling themselves, as my grandmama would say. These guys smelling themselves.
I told you after the Pittsburgh law, these niggas running around in costumes before the game. That just shows you right there where your priorities are. You guys, your rivals are in town, the big game, and y'all fools.
I think this
running around in costumes.
Here's what I think about because Myles Garrett is a weird dude. I almost guarantee you that's all he brought to the stadium that day.
He did, because he was sitting in the press conference after the game.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he put it on because like I'm just gonna wear this back out there. I think he didn't have nothing else to put on. Like, what kind of goofball are you, bro?
Not being professional, sitting there looking like the damn Count from Sesame Street, the damn press conference. I told you I can't with them. I can't invest in this emotionally if they ain't. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, they ruined the rest of my damn day. Like my mother fried chicken. My mother ain't fried chicken in forever. Like I'm having me a good dinner, and they gonna win. Ruin my damn chicken dinner.
He couldn't even enjoy it. Trust me, y'all. The dude didn't enjoy his chicken dinner because he had some stuff to say about his chicken dinner, and he did not enjoy it like he wanted to.
And now I have to go through the week. I can't listen to the radio like when I'm at, like, for you guys that don't know, I have the most boring job in the world. My job is so boring that I sleep at my desk for at least 20 minutes during the day. I don't do it on purpose. It's just that boring. So I need stimulation. So I listen to podcasts, I listen to sports radio and all of that. But because of you bastards this week, I don't have the option of listening to sports radio at work because I'll lose it. I really don't want to hear the dumb. Yes, and I'm calling these takes dumb. Yes, I know that sounds arrogant of me, that like I know everything, but no. But Cleveland fans, when we lose, we have some of the dumbest callers. It's going to be overreaction Monday, and it's not going to be a pretty sight. And I don't feel like dealing with it. I can't have all that extra negativity on top of already what's going on. So now you've taken away a week's worth of listening. Now I got to find something else to listen to while I'm at work to stay awake. Like, thank you very much for taking that away from me this week.
Well,
Anyway.
And I suggest this for everyone, not just for Sean, but you could always listen to our show, bro. You know, I suggest everybody listen to our show.
Yeah, everybody listen to our show.
Get the numbers up. We actually give you stuff that's worth listening to, because we don't have the affiliation with the team. Trust me, 92.3 will never put this banner behind what they do. See that shit? It says embarrassed, actually. You probably can't see it, but it says embarrassed. This is off Cleveland.com. So I didn't make this up. However, 92.3 can't put that up. You know why? Because everything they do is about the Browns. I'm about the Browns too. However, I can say whatever I want to say about any of those doggone players, however I want to. And so can Sean.
And you know what? And usually when the Browns lose, there's something that you can point out positive. Okay, we moved the football.
No, it wasn't nothing positive.
We did this, we did that well, and something else just went wrong over here. That
we did run well. We ran well.
Yeah, but like 95% of the execution today was downright dreadful. It was just awful from top to bottom. You know, the punter had a good day today.
He did.
Finally,
for the first time.
For the first time. But we don't need it. Like, we don't need you now. You know, we need you to kick it 65 yards. You kick it 30. Today, you were kicking the ball out all over Gillette Stadium today. You know, for absolutely nothing. It was just awful, man. It was. The game was over after our first drive. We walked down the field. That was it. There were no other highlights. We couldn't get off the field on third. Another problem. We couldn't get off the field on third down either. It'd be 3rd, 8, 3rd, 9.
So,
and they were playing that soft ass coverage game. I'm like, wait, last week we were playing man-to-man, man-up, press coverage, and you playing worse receivers this week than you were last week. So, and why are you giving them that? I don't understand the thought process and the mentality. They didn't bring no blitzes.
Can I tell you the thought process? Can I get in a little bit? So here's a thought process, and I mean I can't confirm this, nor can I say that I know this beyond any shadow of a doubt. First of all, let's just get rid of Joe Woods. One of the things that I've been very critical of Joe Woods, but whenever Joe Woods gets it right, I've been one of the same people who just come back and say, "Hey, man, you got it right."
We both have
X, Y, Z. Well, it is what it is. So here we are a week later. I just gave him a game ball last week. So here we are a week later. And I'm really saying to this guy, I'm saying to anybody who's in charge here, Kevin Stefanski, I think you're in charge of, hiring and firing coaches. If this dude don't get fired at the end of the year, because there's no, like last year, you could say, man, there's so many people that got injured. Remember, we had this conversation.
Yeah.
So many people got injured. We had a lot of people playing out of position. We never anticipated having some of those guys start. We never anticipated some of those guys playing as many plays as they played, blah, 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 blah. This year, we got guys. We replaced those guys. We actually got guys that we let go of that other teams picked up the second that they were gone. That's how good the defense has gotten. And you still stink. I know we're 3rd overall, but man, if you watch,
we can't be third overall in what? Total defense?
Total defense. This is the difference between watching the stats and watching a game. if you watch this team, you can get a lot of stuff off this team. You can get a lot of stuff off this team. But the teams that decided they're going to chip, the teams that work best against us are the teams that load up against Myles Garrett. And then you got Myles Garrett off the field for 2 or 3 or 4 plays. What the hell is that? This dude, if this dude ain't conditioned enough, Joe Woods, this is your bread and your butter. If you don't put this dude on the field every single play, or as many plays as you can, like you're handcuffing yourself, bro. You handcuffing yourself. And this dude outmaneuvered you today. One of the best defensive coaches that's probably ever coached ever, and Bill Belichick outmaneuvered you because he understands defense, which means that you don't really understand defense. And you didn't think that he was going to do all these things today. And when he started doing these things, you didn't have an answer for it. You still kept running your same goofball ass defense back out there.
And now that I think about it, Joe Woods wasn't scared of Mac Jones and Aguilar and Jacoby Myers and those guys. You know who he was scared of? Josh McDaniels. But that is a problem. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have to get to the mentality of F the other team, F them, and F what they do. They need to worry about what we do. You know what I'm saying? And we have to start going in with imposing our will. And Cleveland teams, period, have always been like, Cleveland teams always try to adjust to what the other team is doing instead of making them adjust to us. On a consistent basis. I remember Mike Brown, he's with the Cavs, was notorious for that. Certain teams he played, he changed up the whole philosophy about certain stuff.
Well, Mike Brown sucks as a head coach.
He did.
He sucks. So,
and we've had several sucking coaches in Cleveland sports, managers, the coaches, everything.
Terry Francona doesn't suck, but Terry Francona comes here and coaches 4 game 7s that we may not even freaking make it to.
Exactly. So my thing is, this team has to get some type of sense of urgency, because there is none. And you can go back and you can say that's the coach's fault, which it is, but also these are also grown ass men where you can't have. I mean, when are you going to motivate yourself to play? But I think these guys really, like you said, they're feeling themselves too much, and they got other things on their mind as a priority instead of winning football games right now. Like Myles Garrett, much as I love Myles Garrett, and I hate to bash Myles, but he said a couple of things the past couple of weeks that I didn't like. And then we're asking him about, being defensive player of the year and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, I want to be defensive player of the year. That's my goal. I'm like, why? Why is that? That shouldn't be your goal. That's as an individual. Yes, there's nothing wrong with having that goal. But your main focus should be team.
That should
like
be
I'm trying to get your first thing should come out your mouth is, man, I'm trying to get to the Super Bowl. And if I happen to get the defensive player of the year on the way there, then so be it. It'll be a great honor. But the fact that he sounded like James Harden. Like when they asked James Harden about the MVP, and James Harden was like, "I'm focused on, I want to be the MVP." I'm like, no, you should be focused on getting the championships, you bum.
But think about it. Think about this though, Sean, and I agree with your stance, because I'm the same way. I don't want to hear you telling me about some secondary bull crap trophy that you're gonna get, because in a lot of cases you're gonna get it anyway when you're that good. You're gonna be in the running for that when you're that good. When you're a Myles Garrett, basically because you showed up today, you're gonna get a sack. When we put his numbers versus other guys' numbers in their first 60, 70 games, this dude is a Hall of Famer already.
Right.
If we just put his name, his numbers versus those people's numbers, he's already a Hall of Famer. He's beyond halfway to 100, which means he's a Hall of Famer. Because there's nobody who has less sacks than he does who's not in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
So he's a Hall of Famer as it is right now. He may not be a first ballot if he don't get another sack the rest of his career. He may not be a first ballot, but he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. So, okay. But the thing is, going kind of towards what you're saying, when you're that good, your goal shouldn't be to win a Defensive Player of the Year. Your goal should be to win the AFC North and then say, hey, once we win this damn division because of what I do, I want to win the conference because of what I do. And then I want to win a championship because of what I do. But you don't hear that. And I think sometimes you don't hear that because maybe, or at least, in certain spots, you don't hear that because maybe this dude don't believe in what the defense is talking about or where he sees the team going. So maybe in his mind, he's like, well, shit, y'all do all that, man. I'm just going to do my part. Like maybe he don't believe in what's happening. And that says something. I can't say that. I can't confirm any of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's speculation. We can speculate on that, but back to Joe Woods just doesn't call a consistent game from week to week. I mean, you don't blitz Mac Jones at all, a rookie quarterback. You don't try to make it. That dude was comfortable. He was very, very comfortable today. There was no pressure on him at all. At least not consistently.
Where was those Troy Hill? And shout out to Troy Hill. Hopefully, everything is cool with him. But before he got injured, where were the Troy Hill, blitzes, or where were the corner blitzes or the safety blitzes?
They bring any safeties at all. And another thing I'm noticing too, in the run defense, the linebackers are nowhere to be found. Bringing up run support.
No.
On a consistent basis.
It's because we run in zone. That's why. It's because they're all in a zone instead of being like in a man. I think these guys, honestly, and here's my issue, and this is why I put the coaches in my thing. I think these coaches miss a lot because they think that their defenses and their offenses work just as they are. When I call a play, this is just going to work because this is the play that works against that offense. But when you have a guy that's special, because you're negating what the guys do in the front office, all the work they do all year long to prepare for the draft, and then you bring in a guy, but then you don't even utilize what this guy brings to us. You just say, "Oh no, we're good. We got this guy, but we don't need all of that extra speed, and we don't need all of that extra precision or the option routes that this dude might run. We don't need that. Here's the offense. Let's run it. Here's the defense. Let's run it."
Right. And for some reason, man,
nonsensical, man.
Yeah, at times you can see
adjustments, man.
You can see the coaching staff putting players in positions to succeed and using them to the best of their ability. When Kareem was healthy, you can see them using Kareem the way they're supposed to, or using Nick Chubb, or and getting them positions to make big plays and do things. But then there's other games where they act like they never had any inkling of doing that at all, and they just completely go away from everything. I don't get it. It's driving me insane. It started really driving me completely insane. I was like, where is the consistency? Period. Like, I don't know. Now I have no idea what I'm gonna get from week to week. Now it's like I really don't. Next week, so we got Detroit coming in. Next week. Must win. Everybody's gonna chalk this up all week. Well, at least we got Detroit to get healthy. It's going, no, that's not going to be an easy win. It's not, especially if you're not going to execute and show up. We can easily lose that game. I mean, they tied Pittsburgh today. They've only been blown out once all season. They're still trying to look for I was hoping the Lions will win today, not just because they were only playing Pittsburgh.
Right.
Also,
get that monkey off their
I
chest.
want them to get that monkey off their back before they come in here. Now they're looking at us as like we can beat them.
They're probably licking their chops. Because what do we have to hang our hat on? We don't have anything to hang our hat on because we don't even prove ourselves separate. We don't prove ourselves to belong with the echelon that are the top teams in each division.
Exactly, but probably in their minds they think they did. Here's the thing.
No, I'm saying us. We don't.
No, I don't.
To be that way.
No. Yeah. I agree. But I think the players in their mind think that they're.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
In that upper echelon of teams. So here's the thing, and this is where Stefanski has to put this in the heads of his team. He didn't tell them like, look, y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit until y'all actually prove that you're the shit. Who cares what the media says about you? Week to week. Like you're not the same team. You're not consistent. You're not the same team week to week. Cut out all that outside noise and get serious about this. You're on the verge. The season is about this. You can go off the rails.
But you know who else needs to do that same thing? Kevin Stefanski.
Yes, he does.
And so does Joe Woods. Like these guys have to say that they got to take this shit seriously. Don't tell me about we went 1-0 this week. Now we got to go 1-0 next. Man, shut your ass up. Go 1-0 every week. You're correct. But bro, stop with the rhetoric. I need you to coach this team and to call plays. Like, bro, this dude was averaging 9 yards a carry. Why'd you do the direct snap to Johnny Stanton? Where did that work for you? It hasn't. So just do the normal stuff.
Like last week before the Cincinnati game, he said, we're fighting for our lives. And y'all played like it.
So what happened this week? These ain't your lives.
Yeah, look, y'all, the house is still on fire.
That's what, listen. And everybody ain't out of the house yet. And everybody ain't out of the house yet, bro.
Exactly.
So we got to get everybody out of the house. Imagine your sister, imagine a house on fire and you know your grandmama in the house, my kids are in the house. Nigga, don't nobody want that. So you gonna do whatever you can to get back into that house to get them out of there. The Browns are not playing like their shoes is on fire, like their pants are on fire, or like their people are still locked in a fire-ass house. The Browns are playing and the Browns are coaching like everything's okay because we won last week. We okay.
Yeah,
because
it's
like they got an out. They're out. Our out is the AFC North. That's our out. And we're not that far from being outside of the AFC North lead in terms of wins or whatever.
Right. The Browns right now is like this. The Browns are like this. It's like you're driving down the street. You're driving a really, really nice neighborhood, right? You see this really gorgeous house. It's gorgeous on the outside. So you say, you know what? Let's go and take a look at this house. And you say, we're going to take a look at it, see if you want to purchase it.
Nigga, that's the Burbs. You talk about the Burbs.
Yeah,
yeah. You ever see that?
You go in there, the plumbing is bad. It smells like shit. Shit all on the floor. Food spoiling in the refrigerator. Now you got a nice room. The master bedroom is a little nice. You know what I'm saying? You got some nice, high ceilings and stuff like that. But
you fall through the floor.
Yep, you go in the basement. There's black mold and stuff everywhere. It's not as good as it actually seems. It looks good on the outside, but it's not as really from what it seems. And that's what the Browns are right now. So I got a message right now. So this goes out to the Haslam, Jimmy and D Haslam, Andrew Berry, Paul DePodesta, Kevin Stefanski, and the rest of the Cleveland Browns coaching staff, and to the Cleveland Browns players. Y'all have to get this together because right now you're literally driving me fucking insane. I'm at the point where I'm about to emotionally detach myself because I cannot go on this fucking roller coaster ride of emotions week after week. When we were bad, like I had gotten to a point in my life around, was it 2015 after we went like 1-15,
Hey,
and then we went 0-16. I got into the place of my life. I was like, you know what? I'll always be a Browns fan, but we're gonna suck for the rest of my life. And I made peace with that. And I got comfortable with that. And I was in my safe zone. Then we draft Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward, trade for OBJ. And I started to come out of my safe place. I said, well, maybe we actually can be a good football team. And maybe I can go, maybe in the twilight years of my life, maybe I can actually start enjoying NFL football again like I used to and get back into it. So I come up my safe space. And this is what I walk into, a piece of shit where I don't know what I'm getting from week to week. And I'm really on the verge of going back to my safe place.
Listen,
I can't do this from week. I can't. I don't have the energy.
You've been in a safe spot for a long time, Sean. Like, again, when we started doing this show, I literally went back and looked at where we started this show. And I thought for a long time, because again, Sean and I have, for those of you who don't know, or those of you who may have forgotten, Sean and I have actually done this show for close to 20 years or so. We lost contact with each other and then we kind of reconnected. But the one thing that we always, if we didn't agree on anything else in our lives, the one thing that we always had in common was the Browns. So we understood that language, and we've always been, on one accord when it came to functionality, when it came to the Browns, what the Browns might have needed to do, et cetera, et cetera. So there's been a lot of things that have worked within our relationship, and there's been a lot of things that didn't work. But the one steady focus in our lives has been Cleveland Browns and Cleveland sports. We had a few little fall offs where I was a little bit angry at the Indians, and I was like, I'm a Yankees fan now,
right.
Stuff like that. But in general, we've been Cleveland fans through and through. Oh, I forgot, when we were kids, I wasn't a Cavs fan.
You weren't a Cavs fan, you was a Lakers fan. Yeah.
I was not a Cavs fan. I was a Lakers fan back in the day, big Magic Johnson fan. And then there was a period where I was a super Spurs fan, other than being a Cavs fan. And then, but I was a Cavs fan at that same time too, which was different. However, I said all of that to say, this show, outside of all the stuff that I was saying earlier, this show was really about us coming together to recognize whatever happens amongst Cleveland sports. We were going to be the ones to cover it because we've seen it all. We've seen the tops, the bottoms, the in-betweens. So the stuff that Sean is talking about ain't because Sean is just this angry dude. Sean mad as shit because the Browns have let us down year after year after year, year after year after year after year after year. And it's like we're wasting away and we don't want to. This iteration of the Browns is as good as any of the 80s iteration of the Browns. However, that 80s iteration of the Browns, they played hard no matter what was happening. We want the exact same thing. Because I'll tell you,
right,
if these guys played hard every game, like the Reggie Langhorns and like the Webster Slaughters and like the Brian Brennans and like the Marty Schottenheimers, and they schemed. Marty Schottenheimer didn't have one scheme. He came every week with something else for y'all to deal with. And he understood the Ernest Miners and the Kevin Macks. He understood the Bernie Kosars. He understood the team that he had. It wasn't just about X's and O's. It was about playing hard every single day, no matter who showed up.
And attitude, and when you know that you're back against the wall,
you play.
It's not just a 1 week thing. That okay, just because you bounced back last week doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels this week.
Now we're done.
And one thing I wanted to clarify when you said I've been in my safe space, because I haven't really been going on rants and stuff like that. wasn't because I had emotionally detached myself or anything like that. It was just that it was refreshing last year that we were actually in the conversation. So I ignored a lot of the red flags that were out there about certain things because I was just happy that we were, had a winning team, had a chance to go to the playoffs, ended up going to the playoffs. And I said, compared to the pieces of shit I had to eat for the last 20 years, it was good to have a little bit of spam for a change. Like, it may not have been a gourmet meal, but it was better than the shit that I was eating before.
Where the hell is this coming from?
I'm just saying. That's why. But I was, but still, last year was emotional for me too. But I just took it a little bit better. But now I have expectations.
So see, and now we got
I have expectations, and they're playing terrible. It's just from we've had times when we look great and times when we look awful. It's really like no in between. You had a couple in between. Like the Houston game, Chicago, I guess you can say, but it's just like, where is the folks? Like, what is the goal this year? Let me ask you this.
I agree with what you're saying, because if you drew dots between the Texans game and let's say the Bears, and then you go all the way out to where we were today, like those dots would be all over the place, bro.
All over the place, right?
It's not one line of correlation. It's all over the place. There's nothing that we can, as fans, can look at and say from week to week. And Jim Donovan said this a couple weeks ago on the radio. From week to week, we don't know what we're gonna get. We don't know who this team is at certain times. Like, where do we rest our? We keep saying we're this running team. However, we go away from the run. We're running 10 yards a damn carry, and we just go away from the run. Or Nick Chubb's in there. Nick Chubb done ran off 6 straight 20-yard runs. Now let's just keep throwing the ball for like 5 plays in a row. What?
Right.
Like, what's the thought process and how we move from play to play? Like, right. and this is part of, I think this is part of Sean's angst, and I'm kind of speaking for Sean. I don't mean to, but I think this is part of Sean's angst. We don't know what we're going to get from week to week. I know this is part of my angst. We don't know what we're going to get from week to week. I don't know what to say to people. One week I'm taking up for Baker, and then the next week it sounds like, God dang, great catch.
Yeah, it was a great catch, and also one of the worst.
It wasn't a great throw. That was a great catch.
Yeah. You should have intercepted that though.
I just think that, I'm looking for things to work, and things don't work for us.
I mean, to not be able to move the ball at all.
But listen, when we talking about, a guy that this dude averages more per carry than Jim Brown. I don't need a dude to run the ball 50 times a game, but he averages more per carry than Jim Brown did. Who can say that? Only about 3 dudes in history.
No, it's one.
Just
one. Jamal Charles, and then Nick Chubb. That's it. Yeah.
It's 3 dudes in that conversation. It's Jamal Charles, it's Nick Chubb, and then it's Jim Brown. Who we talking about 3 dudes. So why do you feel like you can't hand the ball off to this guy on a regular basis? Just turn around and hand it off. Or had a guy in the game as that decoy and then you do play action. But there's times he's in the game, you don't do play action. There's times when he's in the game when you don't run it with him. I don't get it. Like, there's nothing consistent about this great offense. It's not showing up. And when you're 5-5, trust me, it's not showing up. And now, because we lost another freaking AFC game, if we don't win this division, we are not going to the playoffs.
Right.
We're not going to the playoffs. We done lost to every AFC team we've played. Every one of them.
Yeah.
except for the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are the lone. And the Texans. Sorry, the team that wasn't going to the damn playoffs anyway.
Right, exactly. So we don't hold any tiebreakers at all except for with Cincinnati. We don't hold, and really, we still got another game to go with them. So,
and that's why we gotta win the division. So now we got 2 games against the Ravens coming up within the next 4 weeks. We got 3 games against them in the next 4 weeks. Because next week we have,
what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you exactly right now what's gonna happen.
We're gonna lose one of them.
Yeah, we probably gonna beat Detroit.
We're gonna
probably look halfway decent. I look halfway decent doing it, and they're gonna coach aggressive because they're not scared of Detroit. Then we're gonna go to Baltimore on Sunday night and coach like some pussies and lose.
And if we lose that game, that's it. If we lose that game, we out of the playoffs. We're not doing nothing.
And that's what I'm sick of. I'm sick of this scary coaching. I can't. For y'all not to be able to move the ball at all from the first drive on is mind-boggling. Y'all a professional football team. We look like the Browns from 1999 today. Like y'all couldn't move the football.
They didn't run the ball
at all.
They didn't want to run. That
real quick, I've talked about this enough. It's making me madder. And I know maybe we could kind of maybe talk about next week and something else because right now I can't. Here's what really, really pissed me off. So remember at halftime, right at halftime, I said, you know what? The only way we're gonna win this game, we got to stop them on this first drive. And then we got to go tempo. And we actually were doing it. Stop them. And we kind of went to like not necessarily a no huddle, but kind of like a sugar huddle, right? So we moving the ball a little bit, get to like, what was it, 3rd and 8, something like that. I ain't really been running the ball a little bit, but kind of mixing it up. And these fools do a shotgun run sweep that they knew was coming. And that play was dead from when it was, and that was it. Like whatever chance we had of trying to make a comeback, I was like, why would y'all run that play now? Before y'all don't want to run, and now it's 3rd and 8 or 31. It was like 3rd and 6. It wasn't even 3rd and 8. It was 3rd and 6, something like that.
And that's what I mean. Like I don't understand. Here's what I said about that placard. Somebody was like, why does he has that placard up to his face? I said, every play on that placard says this shit ain't gonna work.
One thing, that thing look like a Waffle House menu. Like, what is that? Put that shit down.
It does look like a Waffle House. Yes, I will have the steak and onion omelet. Yes, perfect. I'll take it. But
I'm just too outdone. And here's something else, real quick.
Nope, go ahead.
Every team in the AFC is flawed in some form or fashion.
Every one of them.
There is no team that you can say right now that's an out and out favorite to go to the Super Bowl from the AFC. It's too jumbled up.
Agreed.
So perfect opportunity to take advantage of that. And we're not. Like New England looked at it that way. That Bill Belichick came and like, look, that team, that team got flaws, but we're going to do what we do best and take away what they do best because they mirror us in many ways. They knew exactly what was coming. Like I said, the example was like we playing Tecmo Bowl and they picking our play every time, on defense.
You said
it's like get this shit, like Baltimore. People act like Baltimore is this old scary team. Baltimore really been kind of limping through the season themselves. They ain't been blowing nobody out, but they just figure out a way to win. Right. So, listen, Cleveland Browns, there's still an opportunity here. All is not lost. It's getting close. You know what I'm saying? We had what DEFCON 4.
We had easily at DEFCON 3.5.
Yeah, something like that.
We are on our way into. They have opened up the doors inside of the mountain where we got to go down into the elevator to get ourselves prepared for whatever's getting ready to come next.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
almost like when they found out that Chubb wasn't playing, almost like, oh, here we go again. Like, what else we got to deal with?
But here's the
Blah blah
thing.
blah. But that's stupid.
But no, here's the thing. When Dearness Johnson came out, that first drive, Dearness Johnson came out, and this dude was running he was shredding these guys.
He was.
So again, don't tell me that he couldn't have shredded these guys if you kept calling. Like what plays worked? So run those plays again. But they weren't running those plays again. They were doing different stuff. They were trying. Like I feel like he looks at this as the preseason. I'm going to see if this play works. You got to
So
we're
do
getting
you
late in the
think?
season, and you got to start throwing some of those plays out.
So
Like
do you think
start,
part of it could be? And if it is, it's still terrible. But like, are you thinking that the players are losing confidence in the coaching staff on both
I think
sides?
they are. That's what I was saying about Myles Garrett. I think Myles is saying those things because he don't believe in what's getting ready to happen. Like in his mind, he like, oh shit, I gotta aim at something because what I keep hearing ain't enough to keep me going. You know,
Well,
and I don't know any of that. I don't. This is my own interpretation of it.
yeah, I know what you're saying, and that because we always talk about how players have to learn and have to evolve and change, especially when they get film on them and stuff like that. Coaches have to do the same thing. Like Bill Belichick wasn't always Bill Belichick. Mike Tomlin wasn't always Mike Tomlin. The coaches have to grow and evolve. So Stefanski, you have to realize, look, what you're doing, some stuff that worked last year ain't working this year. And the stuff that is working, do it.
And listen,
like the Browns, like we've become a great screen. We went from not running any screens at all to being one of the best screen teams in the NFL.
Hey, bro,
and then you don't run any
biggest complaints.
Yeah,
and you're right. I've been complaining for years that we don't run screens.
And today you decide that you're not going to run. They ran one that didn't work, and I guess because that one didn't work, you decided you didn't scrap it.
That was it. We done. We ain't running no more. But the screens actually work for us, especially the tight end. Even the linebacker. I mean, not the linebacker. The fullback screens that we've run a bunch of those.
And then like on the flip side, because we run so many screens, so defense, y'all can't recognize when they running the same shit we was running. Y'all couldn't recognize when that screen was setting up. Like the
what I kept saying, bro. That's what I was telling you when I text you that. I feel like we playing ourselves. And not like we playing ourselves, but we're playing versus ourselves. And we're not like we looking at the players like, what they doing? It's the same setup. I can see it. Again, they don't pay me to do this. And even my podcast, I do for free for the most part. I would like sponsorship. If anybody could, just throw in here. We're getting our numbers up. We close to like 12 to 13 views per show.
Right.
But yeah, like I just don't understand why they don't see that, bro. Like you're running this play and you see this play is working. Why don't you just keep going to that play or say to yourself, like, if you go back and watch our show from a year ago or 2 years ago, you would say, man, these dudes keep complaining about a screen. But now we're finally running screens, and today you run one screen that don't work and you just don't do the screen again. Like, why? Like, you need to I don't feel like the Browns are trying to win games because they don't seem like they're pulling out all stops. They're not doing enough to win these games.
There's no sense of urgency at all.
It's not. Don't tell me you some analytical genius.
And then you're not bringing any blitzes. It's like, okay, look, you're getting excoriated playing this zone. Why not bring some pressure and try to force the issue?
You're not an analytical guy if you don't use all your numbers to your advantage. You're not an analytical guy if you don't say, my dude is averaging 9.5 yards per freaking carry, and I'm gonna run on first down. You know, because analytics will say I'm running on first down. This dude is running the shit out of the ball. I'm going to run on first down. And if they stop me at second and not, I'm running on second down too, because I need a third and short. And what works better? I know Baker Mayfield. I don't know if you know Baker Mayfield, but I'm here to tell you, Baker Mayfield, no matter what anybody is saying, I like this guy, but within this offense has kind of neutered him. He's not the guy that we saw when he was a rookie who was slinging that thing all over the place. He's not the second coming of Brett Favre no more.
Yeah, that's true.
So within this offense, we can't expect this dude to just start zipping and throwing all over the place because the offense doesn't allow him to do that. So then you got to rely on the run. So the fact that you don't rely on the run when this is what you need to do, and then you try to turn the game over to the gunslinger who you don't want to be the gunslinger. You done took the bullets out the gun so he can't kill the person when he shoot him. It's a mess. Right. It's a complete mess. It wasn't OBJ's fault. It ain't Baker's fault per se either. It's all of it. You can't scramble an egg and tell me that it's the yolk's fault versus the egg white's fault.
Right.
It's the entire egg. At some point, Kevin Stefanski offensively needs to figure out what's in that egg and what works best for the team. And he also needs to step his ass. He needs to take that whole placard away from himself. Like he needs to purge himself with that placard. Like go in the room and beat himself with that placard so that he don't want to be a part of that placard no more and let AVP call these plays. Joe Wood, I haven't seen you with a placard. However, I would like to beat you with a placard myself.
Yeah, he has to go because last year I kept saying, he's neutered. He got all these bad players. He can't really
Joe Wood
coach the way. No, he just can't. He just can't coach.
You got to go.
You got to go.
Your system with these dogs, because you got dogs. Your system with these dogs don't work, and you got dogs. You, sir, have to go. I got nothing for you, man. And I really can't stand.
I can't stand this soft ass shit. I can't.
I can't stand it at all.
I can't stand it.
I can't stand it at all, bro.
I'm like, y'all ain't even trying. Y'all just playing scared. Oh, it's New England. It's Bill Belichick.
It's freaking New England without Tom Brady.
Right.
What are you talking about? You ain't even got, you don't even have the same. You don't got Gronk. You don't have you got Jamie Collins. Who's scared of Jamie Collins? Nobody. Devontae Hightower. Who's scared of Devontae Hightower?
I remember, this reminds me of something that I remember we were playing the Pistons in the playoffs. This is LeBron's first go around, right? And we had won the game or something like that. No, I think Detroit may have won the game. And they were asking Rasheed Wallace about something about LeBron James, King James. And he was like, y'all call him King James, not us. He just LeBron. And to me, and at first being a Cavs fan, I was like, oh, you hating, but he's supposed to think like that.
You can't think, you can't.
Yeah, he was pretty much like F him. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the mentality. I don't care how good he is or whatever. We just as good, and we come to take. And we
coming at his neck no matter what.
Right, and that's how we're supposed to be. But we're looking at it like, oh, it's Bill Belichick, it's this, or it's Mike Tomlin, or it's Ben Roethlisberger, or it's Pat Mahomes. Oh, we can't. We're not on that level yet.
Oh, it's Tyreek Hill. Oh,
yeah, right. We're scared of him.
You got to look at those guys, and you're handcuffing, because this is what I was trying to, say to you in the text messages, because you was like, somebody got to make a play, but you can't if this dude ain't calling the blitz. And right. I need to be in the zone. I got to be in a zone. So I can't do nothing because I'm in a zone. So I got to wait for him to catch it and then get to him. Because that's what zones
I
call.
forgot what game I was watching, man. But they whoever it was, a rookie quarterback. They actually was in the game, close. It was third and some late in the game. It was like 3rd and 12. And you know what the defense coordinator dialed up? An all-out assault, all-out blitz, brought everybody. Rookie didn't know what to do, threw the ball away, or someone threw an interception like that, but that was game over. Forced the issue. Forced him to make a decision. Now, you know what Joe Woods would have did in that situation? He would have rushed 2 and dropped back 10 and left a wide open zone somewhere for them to complete
somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle that he's seen his whole life. It was an easy play, and now I can just throw this thing in. Like, how don't you have, because they'll say, oh, I got the best defense in the league because we're number 3. Bro, you're 5-5. That's the best defense in the league? At 5-5? Tell me a significant stop. Tell me a 3rd down stop that we had to get that you got. You haven't. You can't get, your defense can't get off the field. Yeah, I got issues with Joe Woods as much as I got with Kevin Stefanski.
They really need to have a come to Jesus moment and really sit down and say, look, what we're doing is not working, and what do we need to do to put our players use, like, look at the talent that we have and put our players in the best way to use their talents to their best ability.
Tell me this, Sean. Do you think that Kevin Stefanski thinks that he puts his offensive players in the best position to win games?
He probably does. In his mind, he does.
You
but
feel like he thinks he does, right? But
but he doesn't. He does it sometimes, but he's not consistent.
But do you think he does?
Not consistently.
Okay, and so I can agree with pieces of that, because I do agree with the not consistently. My answer is no, he doesn't. Because if you're still telling me up until last week that you got a guy that you could use and utilize that could make an advantage for your offense, but you haven't figured out how to do that yet, you haven't figured out how to make that adjustment yet, that's a problem. That's a problem. And we could, I'm not talking about one player. I'm speaking on a player that can make a difference. I don't care who that one player is. So let's say that the player is Nick Chubb. Let's not talk about the player that's not on the team anymore. Let's say it's Nick Chubb. So when Nick Chubb is averaging 6, 7, 8 yards a carry, and then you decide to throw 3 out of 4 plays, why are we throwing 3 out of 4 plays when we're averaging 6, 7, 8 yards a carry? Same thing.
Why is Johnny next week
in the game taking a handoff when
the fullback at that? If you're gonna do that, at least do it to a wide receiver.
Why is he in the game taking a handoff?
Really, don't do it at all. But if you're gonna do it,
point.
Just get to somebody that can actually run the ball.
Like, what are you doing? Who's calling these plays? We get in the red zone, and this is the call you call. I'm not talking about, listen, the second down pass to Njoku, I was all over Njoku the entire time. Man, how the hell you dropped that? And you looking at the referee to bail you out. No, nigga, catch the ball.
Right.
And that's always when guys drop. He put the ball. I've been critical, and you know this about ball placement. Man, that dude put the ball right where you can catch it. You caught it and dropped it.
And that's why I'm always like, when people were like, well, Baker this, Baker that. Baker play like shit, but it ain't all his. Like I said, it's not all one person's fault.
It's not.
These are team losses. Everybody's supposed to do their job.
How often have I mentioned Baker tonight?
No,
really I really haven't. I really haven't. I ain't coming down on Baker. Baker made a bunch of bad passes today. But I will tell you this, a lot of what Baker did today wasn't on Baker, or our loss wasn't on Baker, should I say. Right. He did his part. He damn sure did his part with that dumbass pass and that other pass. Like, you just put us behind the 8 ball. But overall, I put this more on Stefanski, which is why I got him behind me, and I put this on Joe Woods. You can't give up 45. This is the most points that New England scored all year. if I'm not
Probably the
mistaken.
most points they didn't score it in 2 years.
Or second most. I take that back. I think it might be second most.
No, they scored 50 something earlier.
Yeah, they scored.
But I think a lot of that was like defense, though. I don't think it was their offense really getting off.
Yeah, they scored 54 earlier this year. So this is the second most. But they had Mac Jones out there looking like Tom Brady. And I didn't want to say this because I knew that people were going to come at me. But I'm like, Mac Jones looked like Baker Mayfield. Like they're equal right now. They're both game managers that do the exact same stuff. And I knew people would come at me, so I never said it. But the truth is, that's exactly what they have. We played a mirror team of ourselves. However, they understood what they had versus us thinking we had more. And if the Browns, I'm gonna use a Stephen A. Word, and I hate Stephen A. by the way, so I hate using his words, but I have to use this word. If the Browns stop viewing themselves in a bloviated situation, we think of ourselves up here. We stop thinking of ourselves up here because we ain't did shit. So we don't have a reason to think of ourselves in a higher sense. If we stop thinking of ourselves that way, from this dude to the defensive coordinator to hell, D and Jimmy, everybody stop thinking that we're better than what we are.
Who do you think are the I don't want to say leaders, but who's the one guy you think on the team that can galvanize them and get everybody together on the same page? Who's that one guy?
If there's one at this point, if there's one guy, it's Juice. If there's one guy, I would say Juice. But Juice is not Juice right now. So if I had to pass that baton to someone else, I would say, honestly, it's probably Myles Garrett. And Myles Garrett has already taken people to task this season. He's called out a bunch of guys on the defense. You know,
well, whoever these people are or persons are, I need people to start getting cursed out. I need to have stuff start getting thrown throughout the locker room.
You know what? Here's what we getting ready to do. Two guys and a mic on the road. We about to start taking regular daily road trips to Berea, and we're gonna stand outside the gates, and as guys swipe themselves into the building, we're gonna yell, "Hey, you play on defense? Hey man, you need to do better than what the hell you doing."
Right.
We're gonna yell at them as they go inside the building. Two guys in the mic. We are active guys trying to make sure that the team understands we on their side, but we not on y'all side because we not trying to.
I need these players to start taking some self accountability.
But it ain't none.
You know what I'm saying? They start taking like all this other outside stuff don't matter. I'm tired of seeing. People making videos and.
I need you on one side. Listen. I need you on one side as they swiping in, and I'm gonna be on the other side. We're gonna be yelling the same thing.
I'm tired. Like I follow a lot of the Browns on social media. I'm tired of these niggas self-aggrandizing themselves. Talking about, yeah, God got my back with a selfie photo or like all this type of rigmarole and all that. Man, just play some damn football.
Come on, Sean.
Let's play some damn football. I'm tired of seeing that shit. It's the main. You know who the main culprits are. Everybody taking these damn.
Make people stop listening to us. Stop it.
I don't give a damn.
Because you already know what it is. Listen, it's just like regular Christianity, bro. People say all that stuff. You know your daughter can't sing. You know your auntie can't cook, but you're gonna bring that pot roast anyway, huh?
No, it's not even about like when I was saying.
This is it. That's it though.
I was just saying in general. Just you see that they always posting.
But see, sometimes because you're talking about accountability, right? If your auntie can't cook, I'm not gonna ask my auntie to cook this pot roast. You can't cook. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way to cook it for myself or do my own thing without you, because you don't want to hurt nobody's. Accountability is looking a dude in the face and saying, "Man, you stink at this."
Here's what I'm gonna do. Like when we get done with the podcast today, I rarely listen to post-game press conferences because you
I don't
always
either.
get coach speak and just player speak.
That's
So
it.
I'm gonna go on Browns.com and I'm gonna listen to them today, and I want to hear what they have to say. If I don't hear any type of anger,
you're not
or accountability or anything like that, it's kind of a wrap
You're
for
not
this
gonna,
season.
I'm telling you
Because
that.
somebody needs to have. I need a Keyshawn Johnson, Terrell Owens type of meltdown right now. I need somebody to give a damn. I need a meltdown. With somebody just going off angry, like we're angry right now, of how they're playing.
Bro, you ain't gonna hear it. And here's the thing.
You're probably right, but
here's why. Here's why you're not gonna hear it. It's a couple reasons why you're not gonna hear it. Number one, you remember what you were just saying about you a couple years ago? We here in Cleveland, and I said this to you before, and you just kind of brought it up, which made me think of it again. We here in Cleveland, because we haven't been good in such a long time, because we haven't been good, we haven't had a great quarterback, haven't had a good quarterback, we haven't had a decent quarterback, we haven't had the same coach, we haven't had, all these things. We can put them all in that box, right? We have what I like to call the tallest midget syndrome. Because we haven't had a great quarterback, we accept what Baker does. Because we haven't had a great coach, we accept what this dude does. That doesn't mean that what he's doing is the best stuff. But because we haven't seen anything good in X amount of years, we accept everything this dude says and does as the best thing.
Right.
Huh?
You're right.
And so we have the tallest midget. Listen, you could be the tallest midget, but guess what you still are? A midget. You still a midget. And we're still midgets. We think that we're better because, we won and went to the playoffs. But what have we done since then? What have we done consistently other than be inconsistent? We are the most consistent team at being inconsistent. And I've said that last year.
Consistently inconsistent.
And everybody killed me last year because I was going off about Kevin Stefanski and his ways. Now, here we are a year later, and what are we talking about? The same stuff I talked about last year. It's killing us. I called this a year ago, but last year, I was the only one throwing in everybody's paw who saw something. And not to say that I'm right about a lot of stuff, but I saw this last year. I said it last year when I was going berserk.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So now here we are. This is the only reason this is what I told you. This is the only reason I can laugh at it now, because I pulled myself back. And now I'm like, no, I already said this. This is cool. Kevin Stefanski he has to change his philosophy. And not just him. Because honestly, I think the offense is a little bit further than the defense. They got to get rid. I'm not calling to get rid of Kevin Stefanski yet. I think he can evolve. They got to get rid of Joe Woods, though. That dude got to go. That thought process and that philosophy is possibly.
I don't even want him going at the end of the season. I want him going now. End of the season to be too late. We'd be done missing damn playoffs. He needs to go right now.
He's not any good. I'm not against Kevin Stefanski. I'm not in the camp of get rid of Kevin Stefanski. I'm not saying any of that. I called what's happening with Kevin Stefanski a year ago, but I think this dude is a good coach. So just relinquish the play calling and just be a coach. And then maybe you get better at what you do. I think there's room to grow. Joe Woods, ain't no room to grow. Get the hell out. And again, as my cohort has just suggested, I will drive you to the goddamn airport if you need me to. I'll help you move boxes. I'll bring boxes so you can move boxes.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you gotta
Same
go.
thing. Like, I just need him to get away from my football team right now. Like, get away from it. Period. You know how bad the day was for me? You know, and I hate being like this. I was so mad today.
Just being honest, bro. Shit.
You know, I'll tell you why. Like, I was so mad today. You know, I'm watching, you know, they showing some highlights, and you see Cam Newton scoring and doing a Superman. That like pissed me off. And it's, you know why it pissed me off? Because I don't want to see anybody else. I don't want to see anybody else be happy right now. If I can't be happy with my football team, I don't want nobody else to be happy. He's running around and shit. So I'm thinking Cam Newton and had the game of his life. I'm thinking this dude must be ball. I want to look at the stats. This nigga threw 3 passes. I'm like, wait a minute. So look like this. They showing all this hyping up Cam, and that's all he did. Those 2 plays they showed in the highlights. The only 2 plays he ran all game, and it pissed me the hell off.
Hey, yo, that's my dude right there. That dude that y'all see on the other side of the screen, that's my dude.
It pissed me off. I was like, I don't want nobody to be happy. I'm miserable. Everybody need to be miserable today. And I've never had anything against Cam Newton. I never had anything against Cam Newton. They were watching him celebrate New Superman. It pissed me the fuck off today. Just for whatever. I know that was random, but this is the honest truth. I was sitting there eating my dinner mad.
It's random for everybody else. It's not random for me. Sean is the biggest hater when the Browns don't do well. Y'all don't understand. I've walked home, or walked to the car rather, and then got in the car and had to drive home with this dude after a loss. Let me tell you something. He hates every block. He hates every, like, you know, people as we're walking past people, this dude would be like, man, these people are stupid. Other people's conversations, and they'll be talking about stuff that don't have nothing to do with the game. And then he'll get mad that other people aren't as angry as he is. You don't understand.
Yeah, people be laughing and joking, walking from the stand. Laugh about we just lost.
Carrying, man. This dude carries the fury like nobody else, man. Like, we'll be walking, and then I'll be like, damn, son, like, you straight, man? Man, I'm good, man. You know, he just be like, you want to stop and grab something, man? I don't want shit, man. I just want to go home. Like, that's that.
Yeah, I do. I want to go home. Like, that just stopping places, just extending my misery. I just want to go home and
that's exactly
and suck it out.
Y'all don't understand, because for the last 2 years, I've been the one who's been the most boisterous and the one who's been the most talkative with my emotions. Y'all don't understand it. Sean is the worst out of the 2 of us when it comes to that. Like, there's nothing I can do with Sean. Sean can do
it's like my family was talking to me after the game. I'm looking at them like, why are y'all talking to me right now?
I can't do nothing with this dude.
Like, why are y'all talking to me?
Yeah, like I can't do nothing.
I'm done. As a matter of fact, I'm tired of talking about this shit right now. We're not giving any game balls at all. Even if you wanted to give one today, you're not giving one. Nobody gets anything. Nothing. I'm done. Like this really, they really took me there today.
Listen, man.
I was like, how do you have this type of how do you do that? Like, how do you everything on the line? How do you come out and play like that? How does that happen? Like, really, like, how I'm really at a loss. I'm really dumbfounded. How do you play that bad? I can understand if you're a bad football team, you just don't have no talent. You know, if we were the Jets or the Jaguars or something like that, I can see that happen. But how do you come out? You got playoff aspirations. How do you do that? How? How do you come out and play that bad? Like, seriously, how do you play that bad? How? I don't get it. How do you play that bad? That was one of the worst displays I've ever seen. And a good thing about it was they weren't making like bad plays. They just weren't playing. You know what I'm saying? They weren't doing anything. I mean, they literally came out after that first drive and stopped playing football.
I told you. What do we do
like
well?
They weren't playing.
What do we do well? with descriptive plays are awesome.
God.
Giannis Johnson ended up with 5 carries. Excuse me, 5 yards per carry. 5 yards per carry.
What do you get, like 80 yards?
99 yards.
Oh, so you had a 100-yard day. Okay.
Or 19 carries. However, you threw the ball 30 times.
Did we?
Which we weren't doing that well.
Oh yeah, well, a lot of that came. That was in the fourth quarter. All right.
I mean, but you go 11 for 21 with Baker, and they went 8 for 12 with Case Keenum.
Man, what the hell? Case Keenum complete 8. Oh, you know what? All that happened when I turned the game off.
Yeah, Case Keenum.
Because I didn't see. I didn't see Case Keenum complete one pass when I was watching. I turned the game off.
You know what's crazy? I watched the rest of the game and I was still cooking because I cooked dinner for the family today. I was watching the game, but I didn't see him complete a pass. I saw him out there, but I didn't see him complete. Every time I looked up,
I stopped watching the game probably about 6-7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Start watching the first 48.
I should.
It wasn't another damn game.
Well, you could have kept watching the Browns game. It was an episode of First 48.
It was a damn execution.
It was a murder. Only difference is we knew who killed us.
Them niggas shouldn't even be allowed to ride the plane home.
It was bad. It was awful. Baker was awful.
I put them dudes on a Greyhound. Like, y'all going Greyhound. Y'all riding coach.
Hey, can I say this? Baker was awful today. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Anybody who supports Baker or anybody who and listen, and I'm a Baker supporter because I love the Browns. So anybody who supports Baker and this team Baker and all that, Baker stunk today. He stunk. He threw into double coverage more than once. He threw a lot of bad balls today. I shouldn't say a lot. He threw some bad balls today. I shouldn't say a lot. That would probably be hyperbole. But he did throw some bad balls today. And you can't blame anybody, any one dude anymore. Baker just was bad today. That's it.
Yes, he was. Well,
that's just it. He had 73 yards passing in the third quarter. He went out in the middle of the third quarter. He had 73 yards in the middle of the third quarter. Stop telling me that somehow this dude is great or good. Baker is basic. And again, listen to what I'm saying. I think his basicness is within this offense. I think he's better than this offense, but he's trying to do what the coach is asking him to do to get his money. You ain't gonna get your money like this, bro.
You sure ain't. Matter of fact, none of them niggas, they don't even deserve a paycheck today. they don't deserve no paycheck. They don't deserve no post-game meal.
Here we go. Look, here we go. I didn't even know that was getting ready to come. Here we go.
Like look at this. Like, now see, now my boy texted me right now, and I love you, Michael, saying he hates Patrick Mahomes' voice. I guess, but I don't give a damn about Patrick Mahomes right now. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I really don't.
I want you to know that I'm putting this. I can't wait to break this film down, so that I'm breaking up at least half of this to put it on the damn IG page. Just saying, I can't wait because I need people to see Angry Sean. Everybody has seen Angry Ron. No one has seen Angry Sean. And Angry Ron can be a son of a bitch. I'll be the first one to agree. That's why I don't like being angry. This is why I hate it. Because I know when I go there, I'm there, and I'm probably going to be there for a minute. Sean is the equivalent of that. However, Sean is not as boisterous as me. Sean is he's just a grumpy, angry guy. Like, you're like, hey, sir, we have complimentary drinks. I want your damn drink.
Yeah. Hey, fuck your drink. It's probably nasty anyway. I don't want none of that shit right now.
See? You know? I'm not making it up. I've been knowing this dude since we was 11. This is who he has been since we've been 11. This ain't new. Not to me. It's new to y'all. This ain't new. And I thought I was doing Sean a favor by putting him on this podcast and giving him an outlet. And it turned out it was always me being mad. Now I feel vindicated. So
Well, look, to be honestly, I don't want to talk about this shit no more. Just want to give you a heads up. I'm going to the game next week. My cousin Matthew is coming in town, who's a huge Lions fan. So we're going to the game. So hopefully, I'll be able to get the show in with you at some point in time. But, I got family
be out
here.
of town too, so we're gonna try to make it happen.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we got to figure.
I'll be back Saturday night. Oh, excuse me, Sunday night. But we'll work
We got
on.
to get one in. All right. Okay.
We'll talk about it.
I just wanted to give you a heads up. Now, if we lose next week, it may not be a show.
Listen to me. Let me tell you something. If we lose this game next week, no, there's gonna be a show. I don't care if it's on Monday. There's gonna be a show, and it is not gonna be pretty because I gotta let it out. I'm gonna have to, because I'm gonna be in a car with my wife and my oldest son, driving back, listening to the game. So when I go berserk about whatever's happening, if we don't win,
look, I'm trying not to push that button, because normally it gets to the point in the season where I press the eject button. I want everybody gone. I mean, I want everybody gone from. Man,
they helped me out winning last week, so I'm not going to eject.
I don't want to either. I want to have be rational. I know I'm a rational person about things, but it's getting to a point I don't have much time. I don't know how much time I have left to do this. Now I already know that my emotional gas tank is on E. Like my light is on, my fuel light is on.
Sure.
And gas is high right now. Even emotional gas is high. That's expensive to put that back. I don't have much left to give. I really don't. I've poured my heart and soul into this for over 40 years. I don't have much left. If we have to hit the eject button, I don't know if I can come back from that. Because when I hit the eject button, I want everybody going. I want the front office gone, the coach, the players, the hot dog vendors, the beer guys. I want everybody gone. That's when I hit the eject button, that's what I hit. I want everybody gone. I can't afford that emotionally right now. I really can't.
Here's what I really need for the rest of the season. I need one of two things. I need the Browns to make a complete turnaround from what we saw today. That would be dope, and fight for your quote unquote playoff lives, as the coach suggested, going into the Cincinnati game. That would be dope if you played every single game that way.
Right.
If we can't get that, I need this team to completely tank so that I can watch Sean melt the freak down. That, people, you talking about must-see TV? You talking about must-see TV. That would be awesome.
Look, y'all not.
I'm in either way. How about that? I'm gonna be here on either side of that. Of course, I would prefer for the Browns to just make an epic turnaround of their season. I would love to see them decide and choose to say to themselves, yo, we can't lose these games, and we have to pick up how we approach these games, as we were talking about earlier. It ain't just hyperbole, and it's not just like these rhetorical statements that we're throwing out. We actually gonna go out here and play this way. That would be dope. I'm not sure that we're gonna get that though.
Well, I expect going into next week, I expect a real subdued crowd next week at the stadium. And here's why. For one, if we beat Detroit, it's okay, we just beat Detroit. So what? I don't think it's going to be rowdy. I don't think it's going to be. Everybody's probably feeling like the way we do. I know Brown fans are feeling like the way we do right now. Everybody's blah, So I'm going to the game, because I already made the commitment with my cousin. I just want to spend time with him. But am I excited about the game or even winning that game next week? No, not at all. If we win next week, it means absolutely nothing. You know, I mean, it's to win. You need to win. You need to win, but it don't mean shit. But anyway, man, gotta get ready to get off here because I gotta go to bed, so I'll get ready to go to my boring ass job in the morning.
Wrap it up.
I just want to give a quick shout out, real quick, to the Cavaliers. They're proving me wrong, and I'm glad they're proving me wrong. I don't know how long it's gonna last.
You're proving
like these kids are playing hard, man. They're playing really good ball. They're showing up every week, not every week, but every game. Coming back from 19 down yesterday was huge against Boston, man. They showing heart, grit, confidence. They're doing everything the Browns ain't. So go Cavs. Give you a shout out. Also, Ohio State.
This fool
for handling business.
Take a shot at the Browns.
Yeah.
To the Cavs.
Yeah. Like same thing, Ohio State handling business. Purdue was hot coming in. You know, you got Michigan State and Michigan come up. They didn't look past them. And Purdue actually is a good football team. Purdue has some talent.
No,
they got some talent on offense. I think that quarterback, O'Connell and David Bell, I think they're both being
Bell, the first round draft pick, bro.
Yeah. That quarterback is pretty good too. They just they messed themselves up with turnovers.
Early.
They had way too many turnovers early against Ohio State. Right.
But you know, again, I'm with you. I give shout out to Ohio State. The hell with the spoiler makers. They heard all that all week.
Right.
And they actually showed up and played like we heard y'all talking about these guys. So, you know, we came out, bang, 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 bang. Next thing you know, it was, 21-28, to 7.
They held on right. And they also did what the Browns didn't do. They came in and actually took the game seriously against a conference opponent and got them out of there early. Played with a little bit of heart and grit. Unlike another
Browns,
team.
First of all, Browns, you suck. Let's just understand that.
Yeah. Unlike the team that plays in Cuyahoga County that showed no type of grit or want to or nothing that they had. They showed absolutely nothing. Nothing. What they gave me today is, you ever had somebody cook you something it looked good and you think it ain't got no damn flavor? You ever had like you are the worst thing in the world. You ever had like a flavorless lasagna or something like that? You like, damn, y'all ain't put no seasoning or nothing. And that's what they gave me today. I was saying it's a big game. I'm ready. And they gave me a big plate of flavorless fucking food. That's what they gave me today.
Y'all don't understand how funny this is to me. Wait,
that's what they gave me today. A big
I thought we were grabbing to show up, and it's still taking shots at the Browns.
They're showing the highlights now. This is shitty. Man, look at this.
Highlights.
Mac Jones back there. Mac Jones literally sat there back there and built himself a Kool-Aid stand
in
his pocket.
Just so I'm gonna say this again. Mac Jones was better than Baker Mayfield tonight. Mac Jones was better than Baker Mayfield, but they're the same guy. Stop comparing Baker Mayfield to all these other really, really great players. He's not great, especially not in this offense. As good as Baker can be, he will never be this good in this offense.
Little Red Riding Hood was better than Baker Mayfield today.
Huh?
That Little Red Riding Hood was better than Baker Mayfield today. She didn't even play today. She ain't even play football today.
She was better than my grandmama's house.
All right, y'all. I'm sorry for going on that rant, but that's how mad I am. I don't even know when I'm gonna be over it. Normally,
please don't be sorry, because I need this every week. I need this action every week. This is
normally I'm over it the next day. When I wake up in the morning, the sun is up and everything. I'm kind of over it. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna let this ruin my week. I don't know when I'm gonna be over this week. I don't.
Oh man, listen, I can't wait. I can't wait to text it. I'm gonna tell you, what are we doing in the next show? What day are you available? I need to do that tomorrow because I may not get a response till Thursday.
Yeah, you may not.
it was just a bad. This was bad, man. All these guys look bad today. Freaking Jedrick Wills looked awful today. All these guys look bad. Like, everybody looked bad. But anyway.
Yeah, all right.
Let's go ahead. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's go ahead and wrap this thing. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Those of you who will listen and pay attention. We appreciate all of the love, all of the follows, all of the comments. And this is why we tell you guys to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. We put the videos up. Like, subscribe, comment on the YouTube, Two Guys and a Mic 216. And then we also are streaming audio-wise on Anchor, on iTunes. What else are we streaming? Oh, Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
On Two Guys.
Google Podcasts, Anchor, if you mention that.
Right. Two Guys and a Mic 216. Please, again, like, subscribe, check in. Nothing's wrong with Baker Mayfield's knee. He's fine. He just had his ego bruised today. That's my take on the game. That's my take.
You want to know what else? You want to know who else didn't check in today? The Cleveland Browns. I guess they checked into their hotel last night, but they didn't do any more check. They weren't checked in mentally to this game at all.
Yeah, well, they did. They knew what they needed to do to start the game, but other than that, that was it. That was it.
Once again, it's one of the most frustrating losses. You know what? I'm done. Let's go ahead.
If I don't end this show.
Yeah, let's go ahead and end it. Like, everybody, thank you for listening whenever y'all hear this damn show. And no thank you, Cleveland Browns, for ruining like half my damn day. That's exactly what y'all probably ruined the first half of my day tomorrow. Hey, my coworkers gonna wonder what's wrong with me. Like, you've been taking that football game that serious? Yes. Now stop talking to me and leave me alone. But anyway. All right, Ron. You have a good one, man. Have a good start to your week.
All right, man. Hey, man, you too, bro.
You know what? Now you're being an asshole. And I'm about to go ahead and log off this thing. Hey, right now. I'm gonna bid everybody good night. Everybody have a good week, and we'll see you next time.
All right, bro. Love you, man.
All right, love you too. All right, man.